Well, I'm still walking away with Eric Cordia. That's mine now.
That's all yours, and I'm good with that.
Um,
See, Kelowna, BC's in the news.
I have to. What's going on in Kelowna?
There was a woman that was caught on video. Was this last winter? She drove a stolen vehicle through a group of teenagers.
Oh yeah. I heard about that.
Yeah. Well, she has officially been sentenced to time served and 18 months probation.
Oh, good. Well, I'm sure she's learned her lesson.
See, this proves my point. Somebody posted a thing on Facebook the other day saying, hey, if Justin Trudeau got put in jail for his crimes against this country, maybe he'll finally be able to finish his sentence. And I'm like, that's pretty funny. But we're talking about Canada, so no, he wouldn't finish his sentence.
Exactly. Hey, you know what's sort of off topic, but kind of cool about that? And by the way, Kelowna chick, whatever. Time served is such a fucking bullshit thing. This double time for time served crap you get.
Oh,
that's got to stop. You know what? The whole court system has to stop in this fucking goddamn country. I got people crying on the phone. They own this fucking house. The courts can't get this guy out of their house. What the fuck is the point of owning a house? And then, on the same courts, because it's mostly provincial court you're dealing with, so it's all the same fucking court, and these are the same boneheads that give you double time for time served before your trial. It's like, why? Where is the deterrent to crime? There's no reason to not commit a crime in Canada.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how crime isn't higher in Canada. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, because we're Canadian, we just don't do that. But
but we should, because we'll get away with it. Clearly.
Oh yeah, but we don't think that way. Plus, we're like, for the most part, people that aren't like hardened criminals. If they came to your house and they're like, "I'm going to steal your shit," you just be like, "You can have that. I got two."
We'll barter.
Yeah, like,
hey, look, you take this, but you got to take this too, because my fucking wife bought this thing last year and I fucking hate it.
Let's go to Timmy's and talk it over.
Right? I'll buy you a coffee.
So
buy you a double, eh?
It's just like not in our nature to be shitty to each other. Like that's why I truly believe it's like not natural. And we're proof of it. I genuinely believe in Canada anyway. For the most part, given the opportunity to do something good and something bad, we would do the good thing every time. Like, whether we were being watched or not, we just would. I think we would naturally want to do the good thing. Whatever, insert your own example.
Right.
Yeah. But if you put any Canadian dude like just out in the wilderness, and then he could either like eat a guy or use his snowmobile to drag him to safety, he'd probably drag him to safety almost every time. Like, we're just that way.
I would. I will fucking roast that motherfucker and eat him. Because I'd bring spices.
we were talking the other day about that group of guys that wrote SOS on the island and got saved. Which, by the way, who the fuck still lands for that? I got jackass friends. Every time they're on a beach, they fucking write SOS. I go, don't do that. You might have to mean it one day, and then they're not going to come.
Right?
But those guys were on that island for 4 days. I would have eaten 3 of them.
Oh, fuck yeah. I would have been so full. By the time they like, you must be hungry. Nope. That last guy was kind of fat, and I enjoyed it.
Ant ladder. Just remember. Ant ladder.
Ant ladder.
I take that example with me everywhere now. If we go down, 93% of us aren't coming back.
Oh, man.
So, where were we? Chicky. Yeah, don't write SOS in the sand. Like, if you're on the beach, don't do it as a joke.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
It's not fucking funny.
No. The cried wolf thing.
Yeah. I have some amazing India news.
Prisons. Right. Sorry. Not done yet. Yes. Fuck that shit. You get double time. For, that's why, the fucking Bacon brother just got off. He totally did this on purpose. Because he was facing a life sentence, which is 25 years, and then he was facing a dangerous offender designation, which means you don't have to get paroled. So in Canada, we do have a life sentence, kind of. But it's hard to do, but he was facing it. His lawyer made sure that it took 10 fucking years to get anything through the courts, and then he got off because it was an unfair length of time before his trial. So he did 10 years as opposed to would have done at least 18, bare minimum if he was a choir boy. But he was looking at 25 for sure. So he got out in 10. Just with this fucking... And then the credit for time served is double. So it's just fucking... Why would you not do crime? I'm going to go do crime tomorrow. Fuck work.
Yeah. Just, and meanwhile in the States, you've got a guy who... was given a life sentence for stealing a pair of hedge clippers.
Yeah, right?
They gave him a life sentence, and then they re-went through the case and held it.
That's awesome.
Nope, that seems right. A life sentence for stealing hedge clippers. Oh, by the way, the guy was black, just to say.
Oh, shocking.
Fucking you.
Well, that's like the first guy who got the when they brought in the 3-strike rule in California.
Yeah, first guy.
First guy fucking stole a pizza.
Yep.
Out of a delivery guy's car. 25 fucking years in jail. For stealing a goddamn pizza. Oh, I bet it was like Domino's or something, too. It wasn't even good.
Yes, it's probably cold, too. It wasn't even, like, fresh.
Fuck. Oh, by the way, here's a thing that's never happened in 42 years. This has never, ever happened until yesterday. Now, I don't know if I blame DoorDash because they don't have Skip the Dishes in fucking Winfield. But they have DoorDash. So, exact same thing, so don't care. But I ordered from McDonald's. And the dude was here like crazy fast. I don't feel like walking, and traffic here sucks, and everything's far because I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere. Anyway, so I ordered McDonald's. Fuck, I don't care. I don't have to justify to you guys where I order my food.
No.
But I got a Big Mac. This is what as I was waiting for the show. I actually thought I was going to be eating on the show.
Oh, okay.
So got a Big Mac, and it was the weirdest tasting, like worst fucking thing I've ever put in my mouth. Like something was bad on that. Like they did something different to it, or something was rotten. I don't know what it was, but it was the fucking shittiest thing I've ever had.
Really?
That's never... I don't know if it's DoorDash's problem or if it's COVID or fucking George Floyd or what, but something wrecked my fucking Big... I've never had a bad Big Mac in my life.
It's probably racism.
I'm thinking it was the lettuce.
Really? The lettuce was off?
Or the onions, because there's bad onions going around. Maybe it's the onion.
Oh, dude, you're going to die.
Yeah, that's salmonella in that shit.
Yeah, it is. That's right.
And that's getting huge. They're like recalled like every onion in the country. I don't know. It was bad. It tasted bad. I didn't get sick or anything, but it tasted terrible. And that's never happened at McDonald's. Like McDonald's always tastes the same. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's been consistent for 30 fucking years or 50 years.
Because it was all made 50 years ago, and they just heat it up.
That's right.
It's like
amazing.
Starbucks coffee. They're like every cup of coffee tastes the same at Starbucks because it all comes out of one giant fucking well that just sits there under the earth forever.
It's like Twinkies.
Yeah, but Twinkies, just like McDonald's, always taste the same. Like you never get a weird. You're like, oh, this one tastes weird. That must have been a different baker that day.
No, never.
That just doesn't happen. And McDonald's, like, love it or hate it, I don't care. I did my McDonald's rant last year. I'm on their side. If you're fat, go for a walk. It's not McDonald's fault.
I do not blame fast food, even though I'm there way more often than I should be. I do not blame fast food for my weight problem. I blame my choices.
It is not their fault.
Nope.
In the 70s, it was cool to eat fast food. Look at we had the McBarge at Expo 86. That shit was awesome. People loved it. And they were all fit and skinny, and they all looked like fucking David Hasselhoff. So it's not the food's fault. It's fucking Netflix. And Xbox. Anyway, so I don't care if you like McDonald's or not. I do, and they don't like me back. Like you're not happy after you've eaten it. You're never like, oh, that was a good idea. But I like it. I like the way it tastes. And so what? Fuck. But it's always the same. It's never different. And that was the weirdest experience of my life. I think I had a weird Big Mac.
That's really very strange.
I was going to
That's
get a quarter pounder today from the same one to see, but I didn't have enough on my credit card. That's a sad day when you don't have enough on your credit card to get McDonald's. That's rough.
That's sad.
You're turning a corner.
For those of you that don't know this little trick, now I'm only going to tell you this because this is a Canadian thing in the sense that you do not abuse this knowledge of power. All right? If you were really hungry, you need something to eat, and you got no money, have your debit card ready. Make sure your debit card won't work. And what you do, you just roll into McDonald's and you place your order, and when you go to pay and it doesn't work, just tell them, this is bullshit. I know there's fucking money in this account. And they will say, it's okay, and they will just give you the food.
Oh, that will not work in Vancouver.
I've used that in Milton numerous times.
Don't try that in Vancouver.
It doesn't work. They won't hand the food over? It works in the drive-thru, for the record. In the drive-thru, it works. I don't know about in restaurant. I've never tried it in restaurant.
I have not said this yet on the show, but I said it to Gord before the show, and I just want to say it real quick before we move on. If you need to transcribe your podcast, you want it for your show notes or to bump up your SEO rating or whatever, you can go to podcasttranscribe.com. $5.99 per episode, which is ridiculously cheap. No monthly subscription, no monthly obligation. You just go to the site. It's a no-frills, fucking plain-ass site. You just upload your podcast, and they will transcribe it within 12 minutes. Very, very cool for $5.99. Podcasttranscribe.com.
Very cool.
Hopefully they're better than the one that I paid double that for.
So bad.
Actually, you couldn't get better than that. That gave us months of entertainment, so
it's
can't
true.
really complain about it.
That's very true.
And just before we get on to Gord's next story, I want to plug one more podcast real quick. Just because I really like this plug. And the podcast is called Eric and Gord, What If We're Right? Two Canadians trying to rise above the lies, deceit, and criminality that have stained contemporary journalism. If those who know the truth, or those who have the power to uncover it, would actually do their jobs properly, the world wouldn't need Eric and Gord. But you do.
That's
Eric
right.
and Gord, what if we're right? Listen to the world changing.
So good.
I like that one.
Well done. I hear that's a really good podcast too.
It's definitely in my top 3.
It's my number one podcast that I'm on.
It's number 1 and 2 in my top 3 on the weekly Eric Cordia charts that come out. It's always consistently 1 and 2.
Always.
And then my solo one that never gets produced is 3. And then Adam Carolla is 4.
And then you suck and everybody else.
And then You Suck is 5. And then number 6 could be Melissa Ferris and Girl Chat Sports on Linktree. Just because you're on Linktree, and no, I've never even heard of it.
That was really smooth, by the way. Well done.
Thank you.
So you know, one of the big things going around right now.
Last time I did that, and that's cool.
Yeah. You know, one of the big things going around, I know it's a huge thing in Canada right now. The U.S. has been kind of talking about it. But it's, support local, support Canadian, support your own country.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, India has stepped up. They said on Sunday, listen to this, you'll love this. They said on Sunday that they are going to ban the imports of 101 items of military equipment in an effort to boost local production and improve self-reliance in weapons manufacturing.
Weapons, that's something. They are very, very strict on what they import. Our lumber is not even good enough for them. They're very picky about stuff, which is weird from a little, you got factories that don't have fire exits. You'd think you'd just take your lumber from wherever, but no, apparently not.
Well, we probably charge too much.
No, it's not good enough. What we call a grade 1 is like a grade 3 over there.
Well, I can tell you this from personal experience. An Indian hardwood, it's like steel. Holy shit. Man, they got some hard. It doesn't look the prettiest, but my God.